Hello, I'm going to call this video Q&A 1. I didn't know what to do the video on this week. I've got a few ideas buzzing around, but I haven't had a lot of time to do the research that I like to do before filming a video. So I asked Instagram if a Q&A would be good, and they said yes. And so I've got my questions here, and here we go. So the first one is from Gemma, who is the organised mum on Instagram. I'm going to put the questions as numbers below, so if there are any products that I'm recommending, I'll put like question 1 and then the product. She said, if you could only buy one makeup thing for the rest of your life, what would it be and why? And I didn't know if she meant like a specific brand product or just one thing, because everyone knows I love a black liner. I thought I'd be really stuck without a black liner, but that's not it. The one thing that I would have always is mascara. If I could only have one makeup product, it would be mascara. And I think I could be, you know, sneaky and make a black liner out of a mascara if I had to. But I literally, you know, I'd love to add concealer to that, but I couldn't live with just the concealer, but I could scrape by with just the mascara. And if I had to choose only one mascara, probably Bobbi Brown's Smoky Eye Mascara. I think that's the one. Right, question 2. It's from my friend Becca. And she says, what do I do about black bags under my eyes? Becca is a fellow mum of boys, so they don't help. My favourite, oh look, this is my massive box of makeup, and I brought it down so I can show you a few things. For me, this can't be beaten. This is the Pixi Correction Concentrate in Brightening Peach. They also do an apricot, so if you are darker skin, the apricot might work better for you. But this patted on, usually dark circles don't go the whole way across, so just this patted on with your finger where the darkness is, and then a really good concealer over the top. Now my favourite high street concealer is this, which is the Lasting Perfection from Collection, which is great. Not a great colour selection, I think there's 5. Also this oxidizes, so once you've had it for a bit it will go slightly darker, so if in doubt go a lighter shade. That's really good. This is my Ride or Die concealer. This is the Clarins Instant Concealer, and it's just got really good coverage, and although it's something like £21, I can't remember when I first reviewed this, but it was about 3 years ago, and I haven't had to rebuy it. A little goes a really long way. And again, you can pat this over the top of the corrector and then kind of blend it out. So I hope that helps, Becca. The reason I recommend this one, I mean, no loads of places do correction concentrates and things, but this for me has the right consistency, especially if you're our age. You don't want anything that's going to sit in the lines, which we're going to get to later because I've got questions about that. Right, the next one is from PickleTricky. Okay, and she says, why does my eye makeup always end up smudged in not a good way under my eyes? And I asked you, I didn't know, so it's kind of hard for me to answer this, whether you're putting eye makeup there, if you're putting a bit of shadow or liner or mascara on your lower eye and it's smudging down, or if it is the makeup from the top of your lid and your top lashes that's ending up down there. Either way, there's things you can do. If you use a concealer, or even if you don't, if you're finding that that happens, a really fine setting powder, but the one that I really like is the Laura Mercier Secret Brightening Powder. And if you set it, it means that any drop down you should be able to brush away. It won't sit so readily on the skin. Without knowing what you're putting on, it's quite hard for me to recommend things, but you need a good waterproof mascara on the bottom lashes. I have very weepy eyes if it's bright and things, so I tend to keep what I use on my lower lids to a minimum, but I do always wear mascara, and I use the Clinique bottom lash mascara, and that hasn't gone anywhere so far. But yeah, powder so that nothing can sit onto the skin, and waterproof products, and I mean good quality products. A good quality eye pencil shouldn't flake. You can't go wrong with a MAC eye pencil unless you're allergic to it, like some people are, but that's rare, I have to say. Sorry, that's not very helpful, but I have left you a message under my thing, so please feel free to carry on this conversation in the comments so that I can have more info and help more. So then Gina says, how to contour without having that brown stripe and orange forehead. Oh, right, I'm wearing contour today because of this question. Hopefully you can't see it. Contour, there's now two different things. There is face shaping that makeup artists have done since makeup artistry was a thing, which is using a colour the same as shadow for that skin tone to shape the face, which is what makeup artists do. And then there is contouring, which seems to have gone quite orange. Now, I'm not an orange fan. I think it looks weird, but it is a makeup statement. So there are things that you can do. So today I'm wearing a bit of these two from the House of Glam Dolls Glam Base Wheel. They're cream, so they blend really easily. I try and apply them quite soon after applying my base so that it can all blend in together. I really like that one. This is basically Hollow from Illamasqua, which is a cream pigment, which is great. I really like cream products for doing a contour because you can blend into your base, blend the edges out, and it looks really natural. Obviously this is daytime. If I was going out this evening, I would go for my trusty Charlotte Tilbury Film Star Bronze and Glow. And again, you can see, I mean, it is more orange, but it's not as orange as you quite often see. And I think if you're worried, you can always do your contour first and put your foundation over the top. What you just need to be careful about your top edges, and using, even if you've put your base on, then done your contour, you want to be blending the edges, and you can use your foundation brush or your beauty blender or your fingers for that. I hope that's helpful. Best blusher shades for super pale skin. Again, I'm going to recommend an old favourite. I don't think you can go wrong with Rose Glow from Daniel Sandler. This will last you yonks, and you can try before you buy. He does little sample pots for like £2. I'll put the link below for question 5. I will put a link to these sample pots. I think Rose Glow, and there's another really pale one, I can't remember what it's called, which I'll put down below. I also think the Louise Young powder blushes are really pretty. I wear them all, but I even wear this. And I would never have worn that before, but it is so pretty. This one's May. I'm going to show you. You get a tiny bit on the brush. I think what's slightly been lost in makeup is the little and buildable thing, and if you build up a colour, you can wear anything. So Louise Young and Daniel Sandler. If you also, I find if you, as someone like me, I've got quite red skin, it often helps to go for a peachy or a bronzy colour. Or if you've got quite a sallow skin, maybe going for a pinker colour. If that makes sense. Okay, Helen, question 6. She says, I'm beginning to get skeptical about how much brands mark up products, especially ones with fancy packaging. So my question is, which makeup items are worth paying more for, and which items can you get away with spending very little on? I could do a whole video on this. Part of it is personal preference. This powder, I think it's about £40. This is the Hourglass Ambient Lighting Powder. I love it. I use it every day. As soon as it finishes, I'm going to buy another one. I like the packaging. It comes with a mirror. I take it everywhere I go. It hasn't broken. I've had it for a couple of years and I use it every day. So for me, that £40 is totally worth it. The quality of the product works for me. I love it. I don't feel like I've paid extra for this packaging. It feels like it's worth the amount of money I paid on it, but I don't feel like I'm paying extra for swanky bits. So for me, that's totally worth spending the money on. Again, with the Charlotte Tilbury Film Star Bronze and Glow, I love this product, even though I mean I barely use the highlighter, you can see, but I do use it sometimes. Again, I've had this for years, and I use it quite a lot. And I do like the packaging. Again, it doesn't feel plasticky and crap. But what I found with this was it was slightly annoying because it arrived with layer upon layer upon layer of cardboard with like gold debossed writing on it, and I didn't need that, and I just chucked it away. And so I resented that. But the product's good enough that I would buy it again. So it's tricky. So there are some things that you will find that you won't resent paying the price for. I really regret buying this. This again is Hourglass. They haven't gone OTT with the packaging, but I just found the quality of the eyeshadow. There's a lot of drop down. It doesn't really flip my switch. The choice of colours was great, but I don't think I'm alone in not loving this. And this was possibly 50 quid. And 50 quid for an eyeshadow palette. I really don't think you need to spend that much money. What is it really important to spend money on? It depends how much makeup you wear and what you wear. I spend however much it is for the Origins Ginseng Tinted Moisturiser because it has got a good SPF in it, and I wear it every day and I like the finish. So I think having protected skin is important, and the ability, I don't wear it, if I'm at home all day I don't wear anything on my skin, but the ability to have nice looking skin is important to me. So I'm happy to spend the money on that. If you don't wear foundation, then spend your money on a good moisturiser or a good serum to keep your skin looking good. I mean, for my money, I love the Clarins Instant Concealer that I talked about earlier, but the £4.99 one from Collection is also really good. So if you have the budget for the 20 quid one, get that. If you don't, then £4.99 is great. Eyeshadows, it really depends on the brand. Again, these little quads from Bourjois are 7 quid or something, and they're great. If you're not going to wear a load of eyeshadow, then don't bother buying a whole palette. You know, you can get really good high street eyeshadows. With this, I would use a concealer or an eye primer. Again, it doesn't have to be expensive. NYX do a really good eye primer. Or use a cream eyeshadow stick. NYX do a great one for a £5. That is as good as any of the more expensive ones. Rosie for Autograph in Marks and Spencer's do great eyeshadow sticks. Mascara, you might, I mean, everyone has the quest for the perfect mascara. I'm very happy with Maybelline Great Lash Big, not the regular Great Lash, but the Great Lash Big, which I think again is like £5.99. Basically, I'd spend money on stuff to make my skin look good, be that as moisturiser or a serum or a tinted moisturiser, or this powder because I love it. Eyeshadow, mascara, you can get that cheap. Yeah, hope that helps.